Parties to Go. Hope you're all well. This afternoon I am making a dessert called Kanafeh. It's a dessert, Middle Eastern dessert, and it's absolutely delicious. So the first thing you do is you buy, I call it shredded wheat, but it's not shredded wheat, it's Kanafeh pastry. I get it from the Middle Eastern shop. This is the one I get. There's different ones. It's in the frozen compartment, and just bring it home, let it defrost, and you're ready to go. It's 400 grams. And it does, the reason I call it shredded wheat, it looks like shredded wheat. So you put it in a bowl and pull it apart. It just all pulls apart. And while you're doing that, I've melted down 2 to 7 grams of butter. Because what we do is we put the butter with it, mix it in, and then we've got a Semolina milk and cream mixture that goes on it. You put mozzarella first, and then you put the cream mixture, and then you put more of this Kanafeh pastry on the top, and you cook it. There are lots of different recipes for it. This is the one I do. All the family love it, and it's delicious. So, but if you Google, you'll find loads of different ones, but this is mine. So, I pulled it apart, and I melted down some butter. So I'm just going to pour it over, toss it around a bit, pour the rest over. There we go. And then I'm going to mix it all in. It doesn't completely all go through, but most of it does, because it does tend to stick around together. You just pull it apart. This is, one packet is for the bottom and for the top. Now, you're going to say, what do you put it in? Now, I use this, which is a metal round tray, basically, with the sides. I got that again in the Middle Eastern shop, but I'm sure, you know, you can adapt anything you've got. As long as it goes in the oven, you can adapt whatever you've got and you want to use. I've greased this just a little bit before we started, so that although there's butter in the pastry, it still might stick. So I've greased that. So now I take out approximately half. You see, it's a bit like spaghetti actually. There we go. Just pull it apart, and you layer it. I'll point it towards the camera in a minute. You layer it on the bottom of the dish. You might still see a few little sort of see the dish through it, but basically it's all layered. Just a bit more. A bit like a jigsaw, really. You're covering all the little spaces. Okay, so that's how it is. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, because this thickens up quite quickly, I'm going to show you the mixture. So you've got, my recipes are all on my blog. So if you go to my website, www.partiesToGo.co.uk, go to the blog, recipes on there. Sometimes they go on the Facebook page, but they're usually on the blog. So just so if you get them, we'll get them printed out there. So for the mixture, let's call it, the mixture that you're going to make thick for the middle, there's milk. Then there's a mixture that I did earlier, which is semolina, cornflour, a drop of rose water, and a little tiny bit of water. That goes into the milk. Okay. Next is the cream, which is double cream, and it is very, very, very thick, this one. Put that all in. That's it. Scoop squeeze that little bit off. Yep, all gone. Then give it a stir. But I've got my whisk, because when I'm heating it up, I do it with the whisk so that no lumps of water or anything like that. There we go. So what I'm doing now is putting this on to thicken it, and I usually stand over it because you don't want it to suddenly just go thick and go too thick or form lumps or anything like that. What I did previously, as you know, I try and so that you don't get bored watching me do things that are quite easy to do. What I did earlier is I melted sugar, again the recipe will be on my blog, melted sugar and water together basically, and let it simmer on a gentle heat for 10 minutes, and it will become very, very thick and syrupy. And then that is what, once your Kanafeh, I've got one Kanafeh cooking at the moment, when the Kanafeh comes out the oven, you put the syrup over it, which is lovely. Maybe leave a little section without to see what you prefer. I know my husband doesn't like syrup over it, he just likes Kanafeh as it is. Traditional, it has sugar over, it has a sugar water over it, and most people do. But you could all just leave a little bit and just see if you prefer it without any sugar. There's different ways of making Kanafeh. There's some that you make with bread, loaf of bread, which has got butter. There's all sorts of different ones. You can also make the very little ones that you can buy in the Arabic shops. But I just find everybody loves it. Instead of faffing around quite honestly with the little ones, just make a big one and you cut wedges. And it just goes. I mean, I never have anything left over. It just all goes. Right, I'm going to turn this down very, very slightly. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but so that you're not just watching me stir it, I'm going to show you what I do. So, you get mozzarella cheese. I get the maxi pack, which is 250 grams. When you cut one pack, it gives you about 12 slices. And for this size of dish that I've got there, I reckon I'll probably use a pack and a half, about 18 slices, but we'll see when we layer it all in. Actually, I'm going to keep an eye on this, it's starting to thicken. When it does thicken, it thickens quite quickly. Yep, it's going absolutely yummy. So nice. I usually make this on Easter Sunday. We sometimes have, you know, a big crowd over, and everyone says you're going to make Kanafeh carrot. I make Kanafeh and baklava, and everybody waits for it to come out, which is quite exciting. Right, I think it's about to turn. Yep. I'm going to take it off the heat and I'm going to put it over there so it doesn't carry on cooking. Okay, so the cheese. So I've cut them in rounds. I've got a plateful here, you can feed them all. And I'm just going to layer them. I'm just going to layer them all the way around on top of the pastry. Some recipes say grate the mozzarella with a little bit of water and some sugar and then lay it out as a grated mozzarella. I find this dish has got enough sugar in it because there's sugar with the semolina that you're cooking. There's sugar water which goes over it. I just think to myself, what do you need more sugar with the mozzarella for? So I don't. Actually, I never have done. So here we go, we're nearly there. So I was almost right. It's it's one and a half packets. There we go. So then we've got the sauce, and I I just pour it over. So that it covers everything. There we go. I'm sorry, I don't seem to have got the camera quite right to be looking down. I'll just keep trying and get it better. You can see that? There we go. And then I put the next layer of Kanafeh pastry on the top of it. The other thing I've got to do is get myself a microphone. I don't know whether when you're listening it sounds a bit echoey, and my telephone microphone isn't very good. So I have to do that as well. So hopefully perhaps next time round or after that I will have done it. Okay, so we have got the pastry over it, which I will show you. There we go, don't tip it too much. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, sorry I'm coming out of the camera to get my hot gloves. This is one, as they say, on all cooking programs. I did earlier. So, there we go, we take this out. I'm going to leave this to cook later. Turn it off. So, you can see it's gone golden brown. It's all golden brown. So the next thing we need to do is to put some syrup over it. And I will do, as I said, because my husband doesn't like syrup, so I'm going to do half of it with syrup. What you could do, another thing that some people do, if they're not sure whether they want syrup or not, they actually put the syrup in a jug and people can pour it over themselves. But I like doing it when it comes straight out the oven and it soaks it all up. Here we go. So I'm going to leave that little space for my husband. Now, as you know, I'm very bad with telling you what quantities are, so as I say, it's on my it will be on my website so that you can see the quantities. And there we go. I'll do it once more because it's got the syrup on it. There you go. And you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time round. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.